The Halo universe is filled with wonder, mystery, and fascinating discoveries around every corner. With so much to explore, four friends decided it was about time that they booted up their consoles and discussed this universe that has grabbed their attention since childhood. JumperScape Audio kindly welcomes you to join them in the library.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Library, the show where we talk about Halo lore. And Jimmy is back.
He's back.
He's joined us once again. Would you like Jimmy?
Back.
Yeah. Cool.
Back again. Jimmy's
so,
back.
A little bit of a change up we're going to be doing today just to sort of get things a little bit cleaner on the show and make things a little bit more focused. I think you guys will enjoy it. First, before we get started today, have you guys played the new it's not One in the Chamber, but it's basically one in the, I think it's called One Shot Slayer.
I haven't yet. No.
So
I didn't like that sign. What did they f*** up? What did they f*** up?
You don't have to hear anything else.
What did they mess up?
Is all I need.
That's what I'm saying. What did they mess up?
No, listen, it's actually not that bad. That's the thing. Like, it's not as bad as it could have been. It's first of all, it's manglers only, which is an interesting weapon to use.
Very slow moving weapon.
I get why they're using the mangler because it has
it's harder to hit people with.
Yeah, it's a tracking sort of thing. You have to track with the person and lead the shot.
I mean, if it was sidekicks or bandit rifles, it'd be way too easy.
Pretty much. And despite that, today I did drop an 18 bomb. So, however, the problem is it's a team game. It's not free for all.
That's stupid.
Huh? I was going to ask how you got 18 kills, but now that makes so much more sense.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
That's dumb.
I don't know why. I'm assuming it's to distance themselves from the One in the Chamber style
I was
thing.
going to say that's probably exactly what that is.
But
this is a conversation for Get On, I feel like.
No, it's Halo. I'm just sort of getting it kicked off with like a little bit more something less serious right off the bat because today's episode is going to be a little serious. Because we're talking about the TV show. So, which, as usual, Connor, we have to make sure of this. Have you interacted with this piece of Halo media?
Probably like the first couple episodes.
You said you watched the whole first season with your dad.
I don't remember anymore.
I was going to say, me and Connor probably, if you watched the whole first season, you probably watched more than I have.
I remember a few things. If you say it, I'll say if I remember it or not.
Awesome. Do you remember McKee?
Was it the crazy haired lady?
No, that's Quan.
Darn.
McKee was the one that I can't remember. Did she have hair?
You can't remember either. Like short blonde hair.
Oh, that's why I thought she was bald in my memory because it's the same color as her skin. Show is interesting. Today's whole theme is going to be comparing and demonstrating the differences between the gold timeline and the silver timeline, which I'm just going to say it's kind of funny that we called it the gold and silver timeline because that implies that Halo TV show is by default second place to the main timeline.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, it is. Yes. It's just funny that even mass media is just like, yep.
I would say I'd say it's the bronze timeline because I'd say red versus blue's version of the Halo universe is still better.
Silver timeline is 1337.
And then after that, it's the Dragon Ball like art style on Halo Legends. That's after Red versus Blue.
Yeah, 1337. Yeah,
and then it's the TV show.
Gosh, so we're talking straight up like
I'd put RB in the Chief.
You tried.
I'd put RB in the Chief above it too. You know.
So we're really talking DNF.
They got a participation trophy.
Yeah, when they took the helmet off first episode, I cringed.
So let's talk about that first.
Oh boy,
I think a lot of people are going to want to hear about that first and foremost. A lot of this is going to be opinion based, but it is going to be referencing back to the lore because your boy has researched a lot on this. Also, shout out to Installation 00. He has done so many breakdowns comparing the gold and silver. You should check out all of his videos on it because I would say it's basically just a good conglomeration of all the information that you can find about the comparisons between the lore. It's not educational if you already know this stuff, but it is a nice eye opener if you already know it and don't know how these things compare. So starting off with the helmet thing. Now, the book lore nerds like to immediately open with saying he takes off his armor all the time. In freaking Fall of Reach, he took off all his armor to take his shower. Like,
Yeah, but I'm staring at letters at that point.
and that's the big difference. A lot of reasonable fans will be like, he never takes off his helmet in the games. Like, there's very valid reasons why he doesn't take his helmet off in canon, but there's also just the fact that it's supposed to be the mysteriousness and the original idea of Bungie being like, you are Master Chief, but then they gave Master Chief a character in 343's games, and now it's just sort of
and that's
there.
the thing too with the legendary ending in Halo 4. It's just I feel like taking off his armor there and like showing a glimpse of him, I think that did his character like a lot of justice, because again, in Halo 4 they touched more on like the more human side and emotional side of Chief. And, you know, you get that little teaser, like you see them start ripping off his armor off and they're like, holy shit, we're going to see something. And then on the original ending, I believe like anything from easy to like heroic, it's just when the helmet comes off, it's a black screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the legendary ending, then you see like a fraction of his face and you can see he's like, look, his face looks war torn. He looks tired. He looks like he's seen some.
Yep. So only the hardcore Halo players and the YouTube grifters can see his face.
Yeah. And I just felt like it gave us a little bit of a hint of like who this person is and what he might look like without giving away too much and making it mean something too.
Mm-hmm.
I think it meant something.
And then in the TV show, he takes off his helmet to prove that he's a human being, and everyone else is like, oh, hey, Pablo.
It looks good.
That's not John 117. That's Pablo Schreiber.
Could have at least gone bald.
Right?
Like,
because he's probably bald. Like,
he's definitely bald.
just kind of.
Here's the thing. You can tell from the Halo 4 cutscene he's bald.
Yeah.
You can't see the top of his head, but you can like kind of make out the sides of it. There's no hair there.
And it just seems like that would probably be his style. I can imagine him going through the whole skincare routine, patting down all that lotion into the head.
He probably has a dry ass scalp. Let's be honest.
The Mjolnir armor comes pre-packaged with all your skincare routine needs.
I need a set.
I need a set.
So that's the major theatrical thematic difference between the helmet reveal in the show versus the helmet basically never being revealed except for Halo 4's ending in all the other games. It just immediately changes how you see John, because now you can actually, the stoicism kind of goes out the window for a bit there, and especially since he never gains it back for the rest of the show. And that's just not what John is. John is, even in the books, his helmet comes off all the time, sure, but he has a reason for keeping it on in most circumstances. I think Silent Storm, which I've talked about so many times because it's just a perfect book in terms of characterizing young John. He keeps his helmet on all the time because he just doesn't want people to lose the respect that he's gained with UNSC leadership. As soon as they see that he's a teenager, they're going to, first of all, be distracted by that. He doesn't want to be treated any differently. And they're going to lose respect for him. It even happens in Silent Storm. We talked last, what?
No, go ahead, finish. I have something to add. I was just going to say, after you finish, I have something to add.
We talked last week about Crowther and how he was able to put together that John was, at the very least, a young man. He couldn't figure out that he was actually a very young 14-year-old boy. But he was able to figure out he was a young man using botched records from Oni. And as soon as he found out about that, he actually started giving John less to do because he felt morally wrong for letting John and the other Spartans fight on the front lines. And over the course of the story, John proves that he's not just a kid, he's a soldier. And this is also reinforced by other characters in the story, even Johnson, who tells him, like, that's not a kid, that's a soldier. Johnson's real one.
There's a man.
Okay, so I just kind of put a correlation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you probably know this. I know he was very young. Forward Unto Dawn, how old was he? He was young.
In Forward Unto Dawn, he was probably 15.
Okay. And you remember when Lasky got on the Pelican at the end of the movie, all of Chief's team members were taking off their helmets, and he was like, oh my God, like, you guys are like you could visibly see how young his teammates were. and they all looked at him, or they looked at Lasky, and then Lasky looked down at Chief, and Chief is just staring at the Pelican, and they're like looking at him like don't even expect him to take off his helmet or his uniform, like anything. Like, you're not gonna know. And I mean, maybe that could have some type of correlation. Like, he wants to maintain that respect. Like, I'm not just a kid. Like, I'm a fucking killing machine. I'm a soldier.
I am master motherfucking
Exactly.
Chief.
Exactly. And I always thought that went,
Chief.
especially with how the damn it, especially with, oh my god, I lost my train of thoughts. You bastard. You son of a bitch. No, especially with how the TV show went and how like careless they got with him taking off his helmet. It's just, it hits so much harder now when you see when at the end of Forward Unto Dawn, when they're flying off the planet with the Pelican, and he keeps all of his armor on, and not once in that movie did he take his helmet off or give any indication that he was going to.
I think a major difference in how they characterize Spartans in general is simply how they handle the Spartans both in and out of armor. The Spartans in the show actually do a really good job of behaving very similarly to how Spartans behave in books. That opening scene in episode 1 of season 2 is actually phenomenal because the Spartans are doing Spartan things and they have personalities. They're not just robots because they all just conveniently took out their pellets. And then all the other Spartan 2s bully them for doing that, which is just dumb. Cobalt team being absolute pricks to Silver team because look at these guys. They have emotions. Cringe.
One of those.
That's pretty much how that went.
Yeah, and it's like, come on, you're Spartan 2s. You guys all raised together at 6 years old. You guys have been in this. Like, that's a primary part of what makes them interesting. Yeah, that. Thank you for bringing that up. In the books, there's a special way that the Spartan 2s greet each other, because during the time of the Covenant War, they see each other so little that when they do see each other, they have no way of displaying emotion because they're wearing armor. They can't just do that. And oftentimes they're just a little bit too stoic to even talk to each other. Occasionally they'll shoot jokes back and forth sometimes, but they don't talk a whole lot. So this was shown first, and I think Fall of Reach, and it was seen again in First Strike, I'm fairly certain. They met up. This actually, I think, also happened. This does happen in Fall of Reach. They meet up, and Kelly sees John for the first time in however long, and Kelly hits him with this on her helmet, a little smile face that she makes with her index and thumb. And that happens multiple times across the books. The Spartan 2s greet each other like that.
I thought they were like doing like a looks maxing thing.
Yes, they are mewing at all times underneath their helmets.
I hate it.
The Spartan 2s never broke their mew streak.
Oh my god. Stop. Please.
So the difference there.
James, stop.
That's the brain.
James is mocking me.
So the difference there in the Silver timeline is that the Spartans are less like that. And in fact, I kind of hate how they sort of became a little bit more Marvel-esque. Because like Vanek, probably one of the coolest Spartans in season 1. Season 2, he likes birds.
I did like the biggest, scariest Spartan just being like, that's a sparrow.
It's like,
I like birds.
But then he's like, he loses all of the things that made him cool. They got rid of all of that because they were like, we are desperate to give him a personality. He likes birds.
He's not a killing machine. He likes birds.
And then he dies.
Oh.
Yeah.
In one needle, by the way, which let's talk about that briefly. One needle would not super combine, all right? One needle doesn't explode. It hits and it burns out. It fizzles away. Sometimes
they definitely explode.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Like in the games, yes, but they don't always just pop. Some you can see them like in Forward Unto Dawn. Kyler got hit with a needler and it fizzled out in her stomach. Yeah, I know.
I fucking love that movie so much.
I'm just saying, one needle probably wouldn't kill a Spartan, even out of armor.
No, yeah.
Cat begs to differ.
I think they were just going.
First of all,
Cat begs to differ. Cat begs to differ.
Wait a minute.
I'm sure she would beg to differ.
But what were you saying?
I was gonna say they're probably just going off of the games. Sorry, I'm tired today.
Is Timmy hitting you with some good old comfiness right now.
Yeah.
No, Timmy.
You
Oh,
called him
Timmy.
Jim.
I'm about to
Jimmy.
say I made a gym joke.
My bad.
Mixed up.
I don't even remember what I was trying to say.
It's fine. I can keep on going.
remember that you were tired.
So the Spartans are very different in characterization when it comes to the TV show, and it makes them just not as impressive, especially when we get to the events of Fall of Reach, which the Fall of Reach isn't really the Fall of Reach in the show. It falls, sure, but you don't really get to see the global scale of how they are. They're screwed. Like in Halo Reach, in the Fall of Reach book, comic, animated movie, Reach is screwed. Like they are not getting out of this.
Reach City.
Gosh. Yes, my favorite place to go on Earth, Earth City.
Earth City.
It would probably be in America. We would be like that.
No, America City.
America City.
That's exactly
I
what
bet it
does
exists.
exist.
I'd be
It might already
no,
exist.
that's not,
Earth
no.
City, find it.
It's-
So when we get to the TV show's version of Fall of Reach, first of all, they screw it up in one major way. The Spartans are not in their armor. They make up some excuse for Oni taking Spartan 2 armor. So that does it exist?
Yep, and it's good. It's in St. Louis, Missouri.
Of course it is.
It's in the United States.
Wait, it's a city in a city? I'm confused.
Town in a city? Does that exist?
Hold on.
Township. It's a pretty decent mobile game.
Township. What?
It's a trash mobile game.
I said it was a pretty good mobile game.
Yeah, I was just lying.
Anyway, the Spartans aren't in their armor.
They're not. And it sucks. Straight up. Yep, that's Earth City, all right. 7 hours away for a flight. Not bad. So the show handles Spartans in a way that is just not accurate in a lot of ways, especially given that Oni seems to disrespect them at any chance they can, but it's honestly the opposite in the Gold Timeline. In the Gold Timeline, the Office of Naval Intelligence respects Spartans to a ridiculous degree because they're a passion project, basically.
They created
Yeah, pretty much. Section 3 of Oni handled all Spartan development. They were working with Halsey since the mid 2400s-ish, mid to late. And once they hit the 2500s, that's when the Spartan 2 project really began, or Spartan 2 program, if you want to be specific.
I don't like the way you're looking at me. Stop it.
And
I don't like
Stop
it.
talking to Jimmy that way.
I'm talking to you.
So look out for that guy.
And so the actual Spartan program is handled very differently in the show, where the Spartans, instead of them being conditioned and they're honorable towards each other and their family to each other, basically, because all of them have the same background of they were stolen from their parents. Instead of that, the show goes for a more, they are forcefully restricted in they have like these special pellets that restrict their hormones, that restrict their emotions, all that stuff, which there is something like that in Spartan 2 augmentations in the actual like canon, but it's not to that extent. They can still feel things and they can still do things like feel attraction and such. It's just they're way too goal oriented to even bother themselves with those sorts of feelings. So the way that they handle it is so much different. But surprisingly, the Covenant ain't too inaccurate. Would you agree on that?
No, I disagree.
Okay, in what way?
Well, one, the entire like concept of McKee bothers me.
Okay, that part, yes, is horribly inaccurate.
That is like that is gross. From a visual perspective, nothing Covenant looks Covenant. You know, like they use the game models for the jackals and the grunts pretty much. Well, like almost.
But what the hell happened with the elites in season 1?
What happened with the season 1 elites? And the season 2 elites look better.
They look better, but not great.
Why not just use the armor that they should have?
Also, grunts never showed up in season 2.
Yeah.
For some reason. Even though they're supposed to be the
budget
grunts.
cuts on the CGI.
I don't know.
Like their weapons, but everything, like nothing was purple.
Nothing was
like
purple.
Everything was like a muted blue, like basically gray.
The interiors of their ships were
the
horribly bland.
The Sangheili looked gray. They looked like beetles that had gray shells on.
Yeah.
Looked like potato bugs.
Even like when they had Covenant weapons, they were like gray.
Or completely unpainted and unfinished, and they still made it into the final shot.
It was kind of cool that there was AK-47s in the first season.
Was it?
I don't know
I think
why
I
they were
liked it.
there, but it looked like this group, this ragtag group that had them.
What about the random ass Toyota in the background?
Okay, we can
They
ignore
paid.
that.
They paid
Toyota
for a
was dumb.
sponsorship.
But I actually liked the use of an AK.
I mean, like, okay, so I'll be real. I do like it as well, just because it's not foreign. I think a lot of folks would agree with me that if you try to introduce something this late into the franchise, it's not going to work too well. But they did introduce that there are people, especially insurrectionists and such, that do.
That's kind
Carry
of
these.
that's kind of how I looked at it. It's like it's a ragtag group that was like they were scavenging what they could, and that's why they had it.
Yeah.
Be honest, I see that in the show. I'm like, why can't we get that in the game?
AK-47?
Yeah, why not?
Because they don't work. AK-47 would do jack against the Covenant, as it does in
Well,
season 1.
What about like the grunts? I think you can take a grunt out with an AK.
Probably not. Their armor is really, really thick.
And do you know how tall a grunt actually is?
Yeah, about like 6 foot, ain't it?
Almost.
Roughly. They're small in comparison to your player model.
They're big.
If you see a grunt next to a Marine, the grunts are like they look bigger.
All right, give me my $1,000. That's bigger round, bigger cartridge.
See, here's the thing.
Oh my
the
God.
most powerful
If
round.
we're going
you
by
can-
rounds.
The most powerful round in Halo Combat Evolved is the Magnum, firing these like giant 50 cal HE rounds.
What about the one from Cursed Halo?
But what about the sniper?
Wait, what?
Wait, what about the sniper? Wouldn't
Sniper
that shoot-
fires anti-material rounds, so technically that is a little bit harder hitting. But a 50 caliber round that is also HE is basically just anti-everything. Hence why it kills so easily in Combat Evolved. They actually tried to find logical lore reasons as to why the weapons are so effective.
You know what's kind of a placebo effect? This is kind of off topic, kind of not. Halo Reach, the mission where you're going sniping with June. Why am I drawing a blank on the mission? Oh
Nightfall?
my God. Yes, thank you. And June hands you a magazine, and he's like armor piercing, and like he gives you a magazine. They're armor piercing, and like as a kid, I'm like, oh my God, these rounds must hit a lot harder. No, I'm not kidding. And then like playing those missions, even to this day after he says it, I shoot an elite somewhere. I'm like, oh my God, the first mag you have actually hits so much harder than the other mags you have. And I don't know if it's definitely a placebo effect or something.
It is.
It most definitely is.
No, 100%.
I think
A
there's
digital placebo.
overall it's a pretty dumb cutscene, because this would also imply Six was just walking around with an unloaded sniper the whole time.
Kid me believes.
I didn't think that was the
June
case.
Gave me a better sniper, and that Halsey was George's mom.
That's a good segue. We'll use that. So in the TV show, Halsey's relationship with Spartans sucks. Because first of all, she's a megalomaniac, but it was amplified to such a ridiculous degree in the TV show. Her relationship with the Spartans is almost like a creator and robots, basically. Not like how she is in the books, where it's sort of like mother and children. But you mentioned before you think it's creepy, which I can address if you'd like.
Well, yeah, I just think, given that she kidnapped all of these kids,
Yeah, and
and then like especially later in life looks at them like her own kids, is and should be treated as very creepy.
yeah, and I think it's supposed to be sort of one of those things that is a debatable point, something that's multi-layered, something that's not so simple. Those are the kind of storytelling elements that I really enjoy.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, like a bad story element, because I think also, like, I remember Halo 5, they were talking about how it's like she almost talks like about them like they're like her own, and like someone else was like, yeah, it gives me chills.
Do you think it helps the fact that the program was a success?
I don't think it really matters to her that much.
And the thing is, I think she was very cold to them when they were actually young children.
Kind of.
I will say in canon, she does kind of use it like at beginning of Halo 4. Remember what she said to the Oni agent?
Yeah.
Where she's like, my work like saved the human race, and the argument was like, well, I mean, you didn't take these children for the sake of like defeating the Covenant. The Covenant wasn't a threat when you started doing this.
Also, just a terrifying note on that real quick. We have no idea who that guy was. He wasn't Oni.
Didn't she say he was?
No, she said, the ones before you were Oni, but you're something else.
That's right. Oh
I-
God, who the hell was it?
I mean, I just assumed
Oni.
I just assumed he was involved in the Spartan 4 program in some way.
I figured he's Section 0. She just doesn't know him.
Yeah, but he's definitely involved in the Spartan 4 project. Was the implication?
Thing. Section 0 is sort of like internal affairs at Oni.
Yeah,
they have eyes inside Oni where Oni doesn't have eyes in their own system. They're scary. They're the executioners within the system. But Halsey and her relationship, yeah, it is a really fun talking point. Just trying to see how Halsey interacts with the kids and how the kids see her, especially because they address in the novels. They're like, granted, yeah, she kidnapped us, but she has demonstrated that she cares about us. Like, we know what our duty was. We understand why we're Spartans. We understand why we're here. And they don't believe that. And they even get asked, I think it's at the end of First Strike, actually, Fred gets given a psych eval by Oni. And they're like, do you really think that you were mentally fit to be a Spartan? Do you really think you're mentally fit to be a leader? You had a little bit of a breakdown during your Pelican crash at the beginning of this operation. Lord Hood comes in and he's like, you stop talking to him. Because Lord Hood is sort of in the same boat as Halsey. He cares about them because he knows who they are. They pretty much anybody who knows who the kids are, like Johnson, for example, they understand the circumstances that they came from, and they know that this is a situation that just simply can't be undone. So they're working with what they've got. Then you go to the TV show. The Spartans, as soon as they learn that they were taken as children, immediately go nuts. Like,
immediately, the entirety of season 2, John is like AWOL straight up traitor.
Yeah, like killing people left and right.
Like and that's we had John go AWOL traitor before they ever got to the ring.
No, I don't like it.
And then it got canceled.
I ain't gonna lie though. See, is the fight scene with him against the Oni agents when they have him chained to the floor, which what is this, the medieval era? But they have him chained to the floor.
They have him straight up, you know that one Patrick meme from SpongeBob where he's just like,
well, Patrick, you get what you deserve. And he starts catching peanuts with his mouth. Let's throw peanuts at both of them.
And like that fight scene is actually sick. I love that fight scene because it's just, I like when the show does actually go out of its way to demonstrate the power of a Spartan. That is excellent. It's beautiful. But the characterization of the Spartans is like horribly wrong because they make them look like they're psychopaths, which they're not.
I'd say, here's the thing. If you think about it logically, you could say that every Spartan would end up a sociopath.
But that's the thing. Like, the Spartans are actually incredibly strong in their mental fortitude. Like, they understand. That's why they're so compelling as characters. They 100% understand what happened to them. Like, they got to sit there. 150 kids turned into 75 once the augmentations were over. 75 turned into 33 when they got the armor. Like,
yeah, that.
Whoever's left in that unit, they're close. They are there for each other. They can empty each other's thoughts. Like, they're not just trapped in their own mind. They don't have people that they can't talk to or anything. They have an outlet. They have a way to cope with what's going on. And quite honestly, they like that they were chosen for this. They feel worthy, honored. And that's why they sometimes have a hard time with the new Spartans, except Chief. Chief is like, they're Spartans. They're one of us. Like, it's a family thing. And the TV show takes the way that the Spartans behave and turns them into like, it removes all of that and simply focuses on what would this do to a normal human psyche. It's like, sure, it probably would screw up a lot of people, but these are Spartans. These are people who understand exactly what happened. They weren't lied to. They weren't hidden from the truth. They were given the truth specifically so that they would be able to mentally handle everything that was going to happen. Halsey didn't hide a single thing from them.
It gets to a point where it's just like, you drill all this into their head at a young age. Like, as they get older, they're like, yeah, that happened, and I'm happy where I am, because that's all they know. Like, they're built not to question it, not to resist, and like that. If that is like your normal, you wait from a young age, you wake up, and that's your life up until you're in your 20s, 30s, or however long you may live. Then, like, yeah, you're not going to get pushback from them because that they were made to be soldiers. That is their life.
The wild thing about the TV show is that they did with the beans or whatever they put in their spine.
The what?
The kidney beans.
The
put in their kidneys.
the inhibitor.
The beans.
The inhibitor. Also, somehow they deleted their memories of their childhood, which
By using that thing.
But also, didn't they train as children? So how did they not remember?
Nanobots.
And also, what does remembering do? Like,
sure, it makes John do a silly jump and fist and try and kill Halsey.
I thought I would get more of a kick out of you guys by saying that. Or did you guys miss it?
I missed
What?
it.
You said how did they manage to do this? I said nanobots.
Oh,
I'm upset you guys. Colin, I saw you read that. I thought I'd get more
The amount
of
of
a rise
cope in
for these
Halo
two.
4 when it's like she says, I took the time to update your firmware while you were out, and like we took that as kids and we're like, that's her saying she changed his armor.
And then here's what
firmware.
She stripped my man John down while he was sleeping and changed his armor while he was napping.
I don't want to talk too much about Halo 4 because we only have a little bit of time left to talk about the show, but I do want to address they went out of their way to explain that. Not that the frigate changed an entire class while it was in space and was still broken.
Well, weirdly enough, I feel like talking about the show and talking about 4 is the best comparison to what they try to do.
Kind of, yeah.
Because the show tries to do all that Halo 4 humanizing the Chief thing,
but did it horribly wrong.
Yeah, because like Chief, even though I think he's way too quippy and says a lot, because I thought about this for a while. The thing that makes the original games memorable when it comes to Chief is all of his quotes are memorable. All of his quotes can be remembered because he doesn't talk too much. But he talks so much in Halo 4 and just says so many pointless things. Especially since Halo 4 contains even one moment where Cortana's trying to explain something and Chief interjects with a what? It's like, just let her talk.
Steve Downs was earning that. He was earning that paycheck.
He loved being in it. I can understand why.
I know he loved Halo 4. I know he loved working on Halo 4.
But so much of the dialogue is so useless that it's why it's so hard to remember all of it, because it's just
lots of dialogue is useless.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Halo 1 through 3, you could probably quote most of Chief's lines.
Yeah. But I just don't think you could do that for Halo 4 with what they wanted to tell.
What they wanted to tell? No, but you could have fixed up what they wanted to tell, because what they wanted to tell obviously wasn't good enough to carry to a sequel.
I disagree. Just because they did that doesn't mean I...
No, I think it would have worked. I just think the writing was it was too talkative. Like, Chief is not a talkative person, not in that way. And he's certainly not quippy in the silly sense, because he was quippy the whole game in 4 and Infinite. Infinite, he said some things that's like, in the audio logs especially, like, what are they doing attacking the Infinity?
Making a mistake.
Immediately gets bodied. Like,
I mean, to be fair, how the hell would he have known that Atriox was pulling up on him for no reason?
But that's the thing. Is
if I'm Master Chief and with my resume, God help anyone who pisses me off, I would have the same mindset.
But that's okay. The difference between reality and fiction is that fiction has to make sense. If you're going to have him say something that intense, you don't undermine it by making it so he gets bodied. You don't undermine the line.
Or do you?
No.
To make it more shocking.
I mean,
it's not shocking. It's just dumb. Was it shocking?
I don't agree.
Your opinion, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't agree.
I don't have to.
I think that line goes hard, and
no,
what goes harder is that this time it didn't work.
I just think it's dull because of that. Because now there's no oomph behind the line. He just lost immediately.
Well, yeah, because you've had plenty of oomph behind the line moments for Chief, and this time wasn't that time.
Yeah, I don't like it when Chief isn't uplifted as a badass.
I think that happens later.
Here's
the thing: he's already peak badass. Sometimes you gotta knock him down a peg. So
you gotta nerf him. He has to get nerfed a little bit.
I think it's more the fact that I can't see where he's gonna climb back up, because we haven't had a consistent villain in so long, and I was hoping to fight Atriox, but we fought a old, grizzled, sick war veteran instead.
I'm glad. I mean, I agree to an extent, but I'm glad I didn't have to fight Atriox and kill Atriox off.
I wouldn't want to kill him. I just wanted to beat him. I just wanted to fight him. Like, you don't have to kill every enemy in a boss fight. Something could happen each time, but granted, it is balanced out by the fact that Halo Infinite canonically takes place over the course of one day. Chief pulls up to the ring and bodies the entire Banished in less than a day because of the day and night cycle. So that part is entertaining. Before we jump over to our Patreon and Q&A sections, though, one last thing to address, because this got Twitter spurred up when we tweeted about it. The Flood in Season 2 makes sense. I know that a lot of you don't agree, but they do. The Flood is perfectly capable of controlling how fast it infects somebody. And yes, people show zombie-like traits when they get infected by the Flood. you guys are lucky at least that they showed the limbs getting all twisted and distorted like they do in the Flood actual canon. Even though the Flood infection forms looked terrifying because they were like, they were like, they weren't big bubbles. They were just, they remind me of Life, that movie with Ryan Reynolds. Where
I haven't seen it.
I thought you were talking about the cereal.
No.
I thought you were talking about the board game.
How haven't you seen that? It's so good.
I don't know. I just haven't.
It's probably the best Alien movie since Alien.
Cereal's
Okay.
You got to watch it. Room 237. Make that an episode. Streaming on Fridays.
Maybe.
It's really good. I promise you.
No
You will love
promises.
it.
October's packed.
But so setting all that aside, if you want some more conversation in the future about the silver and gold timelines, I'm sure that we'd be happy to discuss it because it is an entertaining thing to talk about that doesn't get too overly heated because of the fact that it's just creation versus creation. That you can understand where people come from on a lot of these things. So that's where I'm at. But now we're all done with that. Let's move on to our Patreon and Q&A to wrap up today's episode. Moving on to our Patreon. First of all, if you want to support the show and make it so that this show is easier for us to do and we can get all the equipment that we need to make this happen and all the set stuff and all that, you can go to patreon.com/JumperScape. If you want to connect with us, you can go to discord.gg/. What are you guys doing? What are you doing?
It was a wrestling post. Relax. Take a chill pill.
What is
He was trying to show. He was trying to point to.
You want me to yell across me?
He was trying to point to the
I want
person
you to
who
wait.
He was trying to point to the person who posted it, and I was like, I can't read that.
Turn your phone
Like,
sideways.
It's just, and it was like, I'm trying not to get distracted by the cross conversation happening here.
He's promoing.
We were waiting. That's why I didn't say anything.
They can see us, remember?
Anyway,
I know.
discord.gg/JumperScape, or you can connect otherwise with everybody else on JumperScape.com, where you can also find some pretty slick merch that we just got uploaded there that you guys will probably find super sick. So, with that all being said, onto the Patreon. We have, starting at our top tiers, we have Jacob Adlam, Scion Esports, It's Default 456, Dark Salad 42, Boomerang, Enjoy HCS for me, Rogue.
Oh, we will.
no.
Hey guys, I booked us a reservation at a restaurant called Sogondis.
Oh, wow.
No, it's
Oh,
not real.
cool.
Anyone gonna ask what it is?
No.
I don't
No.
wanna.
Connor, you want to ask about
I
it?
know it's fake.
Go ahead, Connor. You can ask about
It's
it.
not a real restaurant.
would you
He
like
sounds genuinely sad it's not a real restaurant.
I heard reservation. I got
to?
excited.
Okay, well, in parentheses it says wait for questioning and then Sogondis nuts. So
I'll bite into the joke.
We didn't bite.
I would have been very disappointed if any of us did.
Hounds of Meath, Linda Murray.
Thanks for being a real one.
My nuts hurt. Seth Rutherford, Spartan
Go get
Dave.
that checked out.
The one, the only,
I feel it coming.
Dick Hammerbush.
Yeah. Just a short, quick one.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool Blazer, Mo Maggot Yallin, Spartan Buko G156, Stably Unstable, Unholy God, Connor Clark, Dapper Dame Dylan, Fetch Me Their Souls, Here Lies Jimothy, who is an innocent pickle slaughter by Clover. Lactating Gator, Lactating Milk MT, Lactoston Reactions to Lactation of Mercy. As you know, Connor is spelled with an E.
That's funny.
Still good. At HCS, no one can hear you scream.
Actually, that's not true. Plenty of people can hear us
I'm
scream.
pretty sure it's a public place.
I was gonna say plenty of
Actually,
people can hear
in
us.
fact, people are, it's actually
you won't
encouraged.
get your deal on Glitch Energy Drink.
Connor 141 at checkout on glitchenergy.com.
CONN.
Oh,
R.
Also, HCS, it's actually encouraged that you scream. So
We will be there.
We will
in case
be
you
there.
didn't pick it up.
we're going to be bringing plushies and calendars and ourselves.
Just don't
and good
scream in our
vibes.
faces.
Also, for anybody out there with long hair going to the event, we're going to be bringing cool little hair tie bows.
So
for
we are
people.
still doing that.
We have them upstairs right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's the only thing Ashton has to wear because her shirts are too big.
I can show you the bows we got.
Cool.
She spent an entire night. She cooked, like, walked into my office at like midnight, and then just stayed there on the floor until 7 a.m. making them.
Yeah.
Just looks.
She was trying to find a way to style her JumperScape merch, but she ordered medium and she got larges.
I thought okay. Well, oh, right. No, I remember that. Yeah, she asked for mediums. I just didn't have the time nor the budget to order for another set of shirts for her. And then the original order, I got confused with everybody else asking for larges.
I was confused. Never mind.
Okay.
Going.
So, Sky Cairo, Eva, have fun at HCS for all of us who can't make it. Y'all are making me sad. Installation Lactation, JX O'Malley, Keat077, Kid Puncher 2006, Mr. Shifter James Ellett. My name is Nope. Prophet of Lactation, Shade Communication, Slab Nuts, Tucker, Valkorian, Wyatt, Zealot of Lactation, Tico Vatamai, Aussie ODST. Cannot wait to see and stalk you guys at HCS. I have given explicit permission for people who are uncomfortable being at HCS for the first time that they can follow us around until they get their bearings. Just because it'd be cool to have an entourage.
Okay.
Take
Plus,
pictures
imagine
of
the
Shane from a
pictures.
distance.
Who
What
got
did you say to me?
who got
What did you
VIP
say?
here?
It said take
No,
pictures.
Just him.
Oh, it's just you.
Yeah.
And her.
I thought you did.
No.
I mean, I thought you did.
No.
Oh,
Nah,
I mean, I thought you did.
regulars.
I thought you did.
I thought it was just maybe me, Connor, and Ashton that didn't. So I was like, you guys can follow us around when we can't go in the VIP.
No.
Yeah.
I thought if there's an opportunity, if like someone is like, if there's a way for me to upgrade while I'm there, I'll think
It's
about
all
it.
sold out.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
all sold out.
someone could be selling their VIP pass.
Just, I would just say, most importantly, gentlemen, they'll be hanging out with us no matter what. And also,
Yeah.
the VIP area is in the dead smack center of the building and is not held back by anything other than rope. So people could just walk up and say hi anyway. And I could just go underneath the rope and say
Yeah.
hi to them.
I feel like if I have to buy a VIP ticket, I'm not very VIP.
That's
That's actually a good point. I
we
never
got
thought about
we got
that.
swindled at Outpost Discovery.
because I couldn't
say like I'll use him as an example because he's big. In Xperia, say he missed the VIPs getting sold out and he just had to go GA. You tell me he's not a Halo VIP?
He gets like backstage still.
I mean,
so,
all, like
yeah.
content creators in general. It's just, yeah.
But that's the thing. We'll
he could
still
just
have a
walk
good time.
into the lounge. He doesn't even have to pay for it.
Yeah, and what I'm wanting to do, I want to schedule a specific time. I'll post it in the Discord, a specific time where we're all going to meet up in one location to take a picture with everybody that is there from the Discord.
Cool.
It'll be really fun. So keep your eyes
like
open
the
for that.
game nights.
Yeah.
Except in real life.
We'll all, don't bring guns.
Well,
because we usually do that.
I think that's a
shoot.
prohibited item.
Yeah, because we do that little screenshot where we have, all right, everybody, start shooting at this specific point, and we'll make it look cool.
Are there like booths and vendors?
Yeah.
So I can like basically go through like a little Halo flea market.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's pretty much all like there's vendors, and then the most booths are going to be.
You'd think I'd
the
ask
esports.
these questions earlier.
It's fine. It's going to be the esports
Few
teams.
days
This is a
out.
good time to ask because now everybody has their questions answered. But the esports teams will have the most vendors and booths because they want to sell their merch.
Yeah.
It's a good time to do it. The Marines will probably also be there because they're there every time.
Doing the pull-up thing.
Maybe this year.
They go to high schools and do that.
The
That's
first
weird.
the first
I'm not
year
doing
was
it.
great. Like 2022 was awesome because that's when they had like a weapon drill competition. You play the weapon drills in Halo Infinite. Whoever gets the highest score gets a prize. I never got mine, by the way. Marines, if you would like to reach out to me and give me.
United States Marines. You ripped him off.
Yeah, I want my $20.
you get a recruitment letter in the mail.
You actually do. As soon as you show up,
That's your
yeah.
prize. You get the recruitment letter.
Last year they just had it was so annoying. In the events it said it was pugil stick fighting. I'm like, yes. I show up, it's VR. And I'm like, oh, come on. I would have hit somebody with a stick. And then of course the pull-up bar, which the gym rat at Halo Box Studios knocked out 20 right in front of the recruiter and was immediately asked to be special forces.
And then that's when you go, no.
He unfortunately stayed and had a conversation for a while, but he said no eventually.
Look, I'll listen to stories, but I'm not joining.
Damian Groth, Face McShooty, Ginger Boy Head Ass. I am Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Oh,
Pity 104, road work ahead. Yeah, I sure hope it does. Oh, he got this one wrong. Shane, get your feet off the table.
I intentionally took my foot off the table. As you started reading Patreon names, I took my foot off because of that.
Jeez. Still gutted I'm not going to HCS this year, frowny face. Stop it, guys.
Why? Are you trying to
Stop
guilt
it.
trip us? For
Just
what?
go. The chat.
Just go.
Not our problem.
James.
That's a joke. Come on. Let's all chill. I love you
We like to have fun here. We like to have fun here. We like to have fun here.
We like to have fun here.
it's
We like to have fun at HCS.
We like to have fun here. We like to have fun here. We like to have fun here. We like to have fun here.
I'm kidding.
The oldest living Halo fan, Alex Spartan number 30, Claude Spark 5970, Garrus Vicarian, Halo the Guy. I hope you guys have a safe flight this week. I cannot wait to finally meet you at HCS. I hope you guys like Jumper Car, and remember, avoid Aurora Avenue, please. Is that where you met the
That's
Yes.
That-
Yes. Did you guys see his Instagram story today?
No.
I'll show you guys when we're done.
He's been posting about the car, hasn't he?
He did it looked like he did a race with it today.
Sick.
It was either today or like sometime this week. It looked like.
I know he was doing practice laps.
Yes. Yeah, he had to fix something on it earlier as well.
Yeah. He's right next to a track.
Yes.
He took the car to a track, Connor.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like a blast.
Well, maybe he can take you to the track and you can go do donuts.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do donuts. I would just burn through his tires.
Yeah.
Iskari, Kiri, Kawahuli, Mad, Jeremy, Noah, I f***ing hate Halo 5, Papa Emeritus 5, Random Svid, Remington Cloutier, Spartan MA5K, Thomas Lane, UNSC Proportional Response. What did you have for breakfast?
Pre-workout.
500 cigarettes.
Pizza.
Oh, breakfast? Ooh.
Hash brown and 2 bagels.
Now, what would you guys do if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
Are we still
But I
saying
didn't
we
have
had-
breakfast this morning.
Yes, Connor.
I had 2 little egg sausage things. It's just egg and sausage put together. I don't know. 2 energy drinks.
Well, what would you do if you had something else?
Oh, freak out.
Thank you,
I need my
Connor.
protein in the
Shane,
morning.
what did you have for breakfast this morning?
2 bagels and hash brown.
But what if you had eggs?
Then I would have had eggs.
Okay.
Okay.
We're
all main characters.
We were doing the NPC test.
We're all main characters.
If he would have said, but I didn't have anything else, or but I had bagels, then you failed the test.
You know, technically,
Interesting.
from your own perspective, everyone else around you is an NPC because you can't play as them.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, lastly, but not leastly. Oh, wait, first, you don't have to be rampant to work here, but it helps. And lastly, but not leastly, warm apple swells.
Warm apple swells.
Yes. Now,
Sad.
with that all being said and done, Cheyenne,
Yes.
would you like to do our Q&A?
Sure.
Sweet.
Do I need to mark when I talk or?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
We haven't talked basically this entire time almost. So, what we got? Who's it from? What we got?
Okay, we got Noah in parentheses.
It's could you.
It's the cat guy.
Yeah. His cat sat on his keyboard. Would you rather be a headhunter or a normal Spartan 3?
Both of options. I don't probably live that long.
No, especially if you're an alpha or gamma company. Gamma company, you get spawn killed.
I would say a headhunter because I'd be at least cooler.
Yeah, I want to be a headhunter.
I would be
And
a
I'd probably
headhunter.
get Mjolnir, right?
You would get Mjolnir, and there would be actually a good chance that you might survive your operations.
I'm going to do headhunter, and I
Nice.
will survive.
I'm taking control of my own destiny.
What are you doing? Normal
Probably
or-
headhunter.
We're all headhunters. Okay, so okay.
Who wants SPI?
Now hold on. This means,
This guy.
to be fair, Noble Team got Mjolnir, but they got special treatment all the time. Anyway, so with that being said, headhunters worked in pairs of 2.
Yeah.
Who's paired up with who here since we're all headhunters?
I'm just already laughing at Shane dragging Connor around. Like, come here. Like,
Connor, set the charges, please.
because this is kind of how it goes when we play video games.
Hell divers. Oh my god! Just one day, let me and Connor load in an operation and listen to us play hell divers. Love you to death, but I'm telling this story. The other day, me and Connor were playing with 2 randoms. Right? I have to literally remind this motherfucker to use a stratagem. I asked him. I'm like, there was a Bile Titan.
I could have handled it.
No, you don't even know where I'm going with this. There was a Bile Titan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my railkin was on recharge because I just got I killed an impaler.
So new up.
Shut
divers.
the f- up. Let me tell the story, damn it.
I'm trying to help my case.
But I got killed by this Bile Titan, and I'm watching this man run around in circles at extraction because he hasn't changed his keybinds yet, so he has to stop moving to throw a fucking stratagem.
I dive.
Anyway, I asked him, like, use your rail cannon to kill this Bile Titan. He's like, mine's on recharge too. Don't know what he used it on. But, like, after everything calms down, he had like a laser, a 500 kilogram bomb. He had everything still ready to use. And I'm like, you didn't like think to use that in the moment?
Wasn't that serious?
It was. It quite literally was. It was. I was dead. And we were at extraction. It was.
I'm a higher level.
I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. It's just I have to remind you to use your strat. I call out, like, use your rail cannon. It's out. And you just do. I'm watching you do laps. I'm growing gray hairs watching you do laps around extraction. And I'm like, just because you're out of a rail cannon, like why didn't you think to use something else?
I didn't need it.
Don't count on, if me and him were headhunting, don't count on us coming back. That's all I would say. Just don't count on me and Connor living.
So basically, whoever Connor goes with, they're
Is dead.
screwed.
Everyone in that area is dead.
Well, sorry, Shane.
Yeah, I'm sorry too.
You guys are glued together.
At least like
I'll forget him. Like I'll
I'll forget him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'll wander off and be like, because I'm attention deficit as hell. I'll be like, ooh, I think I see
something shiny over there.
Something over there. Oh, it might be a grunt.
It might be a
off.
grunt.
Like, and then Connor will just kind of keep walking, like staring at the fucking sun.
Connor will start arming a nuke or something, and he'll disassociate while he's arming it. Connor, did you arm the nuke? The what? That's the what? What do you mean the what?
Oh yeah, that I armed it like 10 minutes ago. Well, where is it? Right here.
It's just still on his back pocket.
in Helldiver's case, it means it was destroyed.
Cheyenne, read the next question.
Okay, so this is coming from Lactating Chainsword.
Sick.
What a name.
What is y'all's favorite Funko Pop figure and why? No restrictions for answers. And props if you own it.
Arbiter Funko Pop, and I do own it.
I don't own any Funko Pops.
The special gold Master Chief and Cortana Funko Pop that you could only get at Outpost Discovery.
I have that too.
Mine is I have a I'll say this is my favorite just because I think it's the only one I own. I might own a second one. I don't remember, but I know I have a Corey Taylor Funko Pop.
I don't have any Funko Pops.
You also own the gold Master Chief one. Because you also were a VIP at Outpost Discovery with us.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Do you know where it is? It might be worth a lot of money one day.
It's probably still like
it's worth a lot of money right now.
I probably
No,
have.
it's not.
Did you look?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was thinking of selling it.
I thought it was like a couple $100 right now.
It's like $90.
That's decent.
Given that we
give it like
a few years.
Yeah, give it like 20 years.
Yeah.
That was a lot more than few.
I never
2 decades.
I never took it out of the box. So
I feel like it'd be dumb to do that.
yeah.
What's question 3?
Oh.
This is coming from Dawn, in parentheses, Spartan 1337.
1337.
1337, whatever.
I wasn't trying to correct, sorry.
I can say whatever I want. Is it cheating to use skulls like bandana and acrophobia when going through the campaigns?
Yes.
Yes and no.
Depends if you've already gone through them.
Some skulls make it actively harder.
I was gonna if you're playing like a camp. I mean, if you want to have fun or you're just doing like goofy challenges, like I don't like it is what it is. But I feel like I guess not cheating. Like when you first play the Halo campaigns, I like to play it with no. I mean, obviously you can't play it with skulls your first time on. But if you want to just embrace it for the story, I don't think it's that bad of a thing to not have skulls on.
I will say if it's a skull and it says ×0, which means it doesn't count for any score attack. If you did score attack, that means it's a cheat.
That's fair.
What do those skulls even do?
Bandana makes it so you have an infinite ammo. And what was the other one?
Acrophobia.
Acrophobia makes you fly.
I can say those are cheats.
They're definitely cheats.
Those are absolute cheats.
However, pro tip, turn on bandana when you're playing Cursed Halo again. You'll break your game.
We have unlimited D20s. Famous last words. Our games fucking crash.
All right. What we got for question 4?
1 second. I had to mark Shane swearing.
Wow, come on, Shane.
I'm sorry.
Not so family.
He's sworn a lot this episode.
I've watched her hit the M key so many times today.
Every time he says, I come like look right over, make sure she hits it too.
Okay. Some of the markers are going to be delayed. Sorry.
That's fine.
From L3G0, if you could ask face to face a question to Chief, what would it be?
What'd you have for breakfast?
Followed up by, what would you do if you didn't have that for breakfast?
Yes. I low-key would want to ask him like what his favorite music genre is, but bro probably doesn't even listen to music.
What's music?
Yeah, he's like, what's music?
Kelly listens to Queen.
Is that canon in a book somewhere? Of course it is. Oh, so I mean, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, if he listens to music, I'd ask him what his favorite music is. I don't know.
Do you want a hug?
He'd probably ask what that is. I mean, think of the ending of Halo Infinite. He didn't know what to do.
He was like,
he's like, yeah,
A posing.
Hey, buddy.
Can I shake your hand?
Okay.
I'm gonna shake your hand.
Shake your hand. Breaks your wrist.
Last question.
Likewise.
Okay, this is also from Noah, the cat keyboard guy.
Okay.
I started playing Mafia, and the boss's name is the Don. So Connor, he spelled it with an E.
This is so relevant. It's so scary.
What were you doing in the 1930s?
I don't know who he's talking to.
I have also just started playing the Mafia games like as of 2 weeks ago. That's crazy.
I
You just
Amazing
finished the
games.
first one, right?
First one.
well,
If it's
First
spelled
one
with
is
an
done.
ER, it's not me.
well, just so you know, the Don is a title.
I think his first name is The and his last name is Don.
He said his name was the Don.
No,
Not necessarily.
That's
Not
from the one
necessarily.
guy's lore story as a title.
It's not necessarily just a title. Not necessarily.
not?
No.
It's also.
I mean, it is, but it originated from the main guy in Mafia 1, the Don, and that his name is Don Salieri. That's his
Yeah.
name. So it's his actual name. It's not just a title.
He's not.
He's referred to as the Don because his name is Don.
Yeah, but also real life gangsters were.
Yes, that's
That's
that's where it
the
originated.
Don.
That's where it
From him?
originated. Yeah, not from. He wasn't an actual guy, but someone there was an original Don blank in the Mafia, and that's where the title comes from.
Oh,
Like it's.
okay.
I mean, yeah, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying no. Yeah, in the game, that's where they got the term from. And
No,
I was like,
no,
no,
I
they
mean,
didn't get
no,
the term
no,
from the game.
no. The guy's name, like it was basically the origin story of why there's a Don in a mafia or in a gang or something like that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes, amazing game. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Well, I think we can wrap it up perfectly fine there. We're going to get on to the podcast next. So if you guys want to tune in on that, join us on Thursday for Get On the Podcast, streaming on all platforms. At least we're trying to make sure that it streams on all platforms. It's giving us a little bit of trouble, but also addressing it. Apologies that there was no video on this episode today. Big mistakes were made during setup. So sorry about that. It's not recording.
And you just noticed now.
Whoever said, they can see you, right?
That was me.
Fuck you guys. Whoever said that.
Hey, yeah, and you crashed out even though we weren't on camera. So no one would have known.
They could have. It was still
Even if they
principle.
did see it, it's not that big of a deal.
It's still distracting to do in the middle of my spiel. Okay?
It was perfectly fine until you yelled at us.
Oh,
for
sure it was.
It was.
So we'll see you guys on Get On the Podcast this Thursday. And next week, we'll have a very special episode of The Library recorded live at HCS. So we'll see you then and have a good rest of your day. And we'll see you at HCS if you're going.
The Library was produced and published by JumperScape Audio. Funding was provided by our fantastic patrons on Patreon. If you enjoy the show and wish to support JumperScape's future projects or get some sweet benefits, join our Patreon at patreon.com/JumperScape or become part of this truly special community at discord.gg/JumperScape. Thank you for your listenership, and we hope you enjoyed.